In WAVES2 CMS, we have a widget which is called tab strips. Now, you maybe not know it by its name, but you've seen these everywhere all over the web. People are using them all of the time. This is an example of a tab strip right here, where I toggle example 1, example 2, example 3. They're good for a couple reasons. They give you, when you have limited real estate on a page, they give you more room for your content. So I can add more content here on each tab, and the page doesn't reload, so I'm not having that lag time of waiting for my content to load or having to leave the page that I'm on. So it's real easy. I'm going to show you how to set up a tab strip in WAVES2. Okay, so let me come over here. I'm going to use this page technology. Actually, let me show you the staging site first. On technology, I have a few different content items. Okay, so we have concept, core technology, web technology, and installation. These are like my 4 categories on this page. So instead of me having this long scrolling page that maybe somebody won't read and they just want a quick eye level of, what is technology, they can toggle between concept, core technology, web technology, and installation if I use the tab strip instead. Okay, so I'm going to take this content and create a tab strip. So over here in WAVES2 CMS, I'm going to edit the content. And like all widgets, I just need to add it to the page first, and then I can configure its properties to make it do what I want to do. So let me find the widget. Okay, there it is, tab strip. So I want to right click, press properties, and save the widget. And by default, what will happen, it will bring up the properties of this widget where I can configure it to work the way I need it to on this page. Okay, so like all widgets, it's going to default me to the style sheet where I can change the look and feel, the color, the fonts, any of the style. Or I can choose system default style or a website default style. So if I'm using the same style all over the website, I can apply the same style here. So typically you may not have to do any changing here of colors or fonts or whatever. Also, all widgets, you can copy the settings. So if I have a tab strip elsewhere on my site and I've already set it up, I just need to change the content, I would copy the settings so that everything comes over, and then I just modify the selections that I need to. So I'm not starting from scratch. But let's assume I'm starting from scratch. I'm not going to copy any other settings and modify them. I'm going to toggle here to the configuration. So see, this is kind of funny. This is tab strip in itself. So I'm going to go to configuration, and I can choose a theme. So again, if you watch any of my other videos, it's always the same thing. The themes, there's a whole bunch that come with the system. If you needed to upload your own theme, you could do that in the system too, but that's in a different section. So let's assume, our WAVES2 site's pretty black and dark. Let's say a black theme is going to suit us. And it defaults to about 800 by 600 pixel dimensions, and this is pretty standard and okay for the center of our pages on our waves2.com site. So below here, I don't have any records to display, but what I'm doing is I'm going to be adding a record for each tab. So see, right here, I said I'm going to go, this is a tab strip. In this case, I would be adding a record called CSS Styles, a record called Configuration, and a record called Advanced. Now, in the example I'm going to do, I'm going to add a record called Concept, Core Technology, Web Technology, Installation, because that's the content I want to work with. Okay, so this is really the titles. So right now I have nothing. So let me go ahead and press Add, and this will allow me to add one of my tab strip sections. Okay, so my first one, Concept. Okay, so I'm going to put here Concept. Now I can select the source of this page, or of this tab rather. I can select a page, which allows me to pull in content from another page. So if there was a page somewhere on the site that I wanted to drive into that tab, I could just select it here. Now I'll show you in a minute how you have to be careful here, because the template of that page that you bring in is going to be dependent on it and come with it. So it might look silly unless you have a page without a template. Okay, so right now for this example, I'm going to do editor content, which really just gives me, a simple WYSIWYG editor where I can input the content that I want in this first tab. So let me come over here to the site. I know this is the content that I want to appear in my first tab under concept. Just paste this in. You see when I come in here, all of the WYSIWYG editor icons and functionality come in. Okay. Now if I want there to be a tab image, I can select one. If not, I could just leave it blank. So just to give you some different examples, on some of them I'll add the image, some of them I won't, etc. Okay, do I want to assign a parent tab? This means I can have a tab above it, but in this example I'm just going to say no. And remember to always press this green update check mark, otherwise your changes will not be saved. Okay, so here is my tab name. I've just selected, I only have one in there so far, so I still have 3 other tabs I want to add, okay? And I didn't link it to anything, so this is why this is blank. So let me add another. And this is called Core Technology. Okay, again, I'm going to select the source. I'm just going to do editor content again. So I'm going to paste all of my content for Core Technology. Okay, and I can format it how I'd like. This one I'll just grab an image. Let's see. We'll do that one. Okay. I don't know if that's selected. Yeah, okay, there we go. So again, remember to update. And my third tab will be this Web Technology. Editor content, paste, save. Now if I realize I made any mistake or I misspelled something, I can always just select the record and press edit, and it's going to bring me back into edit mode. Okay, but I don't need to add anything there, so I'm going to close that. And I'm going to add my final tab, which is called Installation. Paste in the text and save. Okay, and I'm going to save again. And that was just saving the widget. The first one was saving the record, the second one was saving the widget, and now I need to save the page. Okay, so just remember to save the module that you're in. Okay, what I would do too is remove all this extra content that's on my page. But first I just want to see how it looks. In a widget like this, there's a lot of kind of testing you could do and tinkering around to see that it looks the way that you intended it to look. Okay, so let me scroll up and refresh. Okay, so there is my tab strip. Right, so here's concept, it defaults to. Core technology, if you recall, I added an image, so that's some small little image there. Web technology and installation. So I can just toggle through. And I think it looks pretty good. You know, it's probably a little too wide for this page. You see the layout gets a little blown out. The image isn't quite wide enough. Not enough room here for the button, so I could you know, mess with the pixel dimension so I can get it to exactly where I want it to be. And let me just show you if I bring in a page what would happen. So let me come back here. And if I want to edit the widget, I just select the widget that I want to edit. On this page there's only one, so I'm going to edit the tab strip. Brings me back to the same interface. So I'm going to come over here to configuration. And let's say installation I wanted to link to a page rather than the content. So I would just change this to page. And I'm just going to randomly choose any page. So say privacy policy. Press OK. Now press OK to the widget itself. Okay, and let me come back and refresh the staging site. So now when I go to installation, notice that's the page content that comes into the tab and not the editor content that I just copied and pasted in for the others. The warning here is, remember this has a template. So it's going to bring in the whole page with its template. If I wanted to really bring in the privacy policy and not make it look like this, I would share the content of this privacy policy page with another page that didn't have a template. And I'd bring the one in here that didn't have the template. So that way the content's managed in one place. You don't have to, copy the privacy policy in here. Or you could, but you just want to make sure that there's no template so it doesn't look like this. Okay, and then if you wanted to, we talked about editing the widget. If you want to remove the widget, just come in, select the widget. And there's a lot of code in the HTML that comes with this, so the easiest way to do it to make sure that you're doing it clean and removing the entire widget, just select it, and there's a button here called Delete Widget. Press that. Yes, I'm sure. Get my spacing back. Okay, and then I'm going to save my page. And it'll be pretty much back to normal. Well, not pretty much. It will be back to normal. But you can see it was very easy to add a tab strip. So it's a good way to, when you have a lot of content that you want people to easily recognize and pick up really quickly instead of these long scrolling pages that most people will never read. So that's a tab strip.